just a lie. Spam reporting of any kind does not impact a player's in-game standing. Not true. That was the meta in ranked play in last year. You would, in ranked multiplayer, and one guy would just start spam reporting him, and after like 6 reports, the guy would get instantly kicked, banned. So what happened? It didn't. Absolute cap.
We talking the 56 or the Victor?
Neither.
The TAC Victor.
They were both buns. We are live! Yeah. Boys and girls, welcome back to the Dropshot Call of Duty Podcast, episode number 485. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon, and today, back from the in-laws, is Tannerific Ski.
Don't say that again.
Sorry. How was the in-laws, buddy?
Again. Good. It was good.
For Christmas.
Pretty short trip.
Short trip, huh? How many nights were you out there? How many sleeps, as I call them?
Well, 4, but I mean, one of them we got in so late. It is, because one of them we got in so late, so that day's already washed. And then it's like the last day you leave early, so that day's also washed. So it's really not much time at all.
Interesting. That's cool, man. Did Santa bring you any nice presents?
I got some things, yeah. Did you get any things?
No.
Did you guys spend $1,000 on alcohol again?
No, we didn't, because my dad got sick too. So he was like, I can't taste anything, classic. So let's not like waste money on nice wine or whatever. I was like, all right, that's fine. I did get a trivia game off the TikTok store though, and it went bonkers. It was fun.
Really?
It was appropriately difficult questions. Yeah. So.
Where it's not like impossible and it's still fun. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't always get those.
You don't.
They're kind of hard to come by.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They make the questions too hard and not interesting at times. Too specific.
Yeah, way too crazy. Like, I don't even know if I have... Oh, my mom gave it away, actually, the game I bought for last year. Because it was just insane. Anyway, welcome to the show. Today, because people who need... Anyway, we're going to talk about Call of Duty. So, hope you all had a Merry Christmas. I did. Tanner also did. And then we started playing this game. Well, and by we, of course, I mean me.
Yeah. I'm still merry because I haven't played it.
You're full of cheer, yeah. I am not, for reasons we'll get into. So today, what we're going to do, obviously we didn't have a Thursday pod.
Yeah.
I did not even look for any updates or anything because I assumed there would have been none. However, luckily, Tanner did his due diligence, and they said they did some stuff.
Well, let's settle down. They really didn't say they did anything. It's more them talking about what they might do next year. Yeah, that's
got it.
Nothing was really done this week. There was like one thing done.
Yeah. So that one thing and all their yapping is what we will be meta yapping about today. So we will have some announcements at the end of the show. We did get some Christmas presents from our dear listeners and viewers. Based. Yeah. We'll get to those. But in the meantime, let's get into the news of the week. So, yeah, like Tanner said, evidently not very much. First thing here, Charles Intelligence tweeted. Oh, by the way, yeah, so it is supposedly, right? Double XP right now.
Which it should be how, it should be because they said it's double XP.
Correct.
That means you should be getting double the amount of XP, right?
Yeah, so like the amount of XP you would have otherwise gotten, you should times it by 2 exactly, and that's how much XP you should be getting during double XP, which is currently live. Charles Intelligence yesterday tweeted. It also appears like double XP in BO6 and Warzone is not working properly. I'm surprised. Players are seeing much lower XP earn rates with the double XP event active. No comments from Treyarch or Raven on it as of now. We also had someone in our chat who said they got dark matter on a gun. Normally, you get 7,500 XP for that. He earned, in fact, during double XP, 12,000 XP for that. Now, for those of you who are a little slow, 7,500 times 2 is actually 15,000, not 12.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
So it's actually 1.8 XP weekend, I guess, or something. I don't know. But nothing works in this game at all, including that. I'm surprised I'm not. So that's cool and fun and exciting.
Yeah, I mean, how long have we been doing double XP for now? How many years? How many decades?
How many decades is the correct
How many decades has
question,
double XP been a thing in Call of Duty? And we're still dealing with issues every fucking time.
For a double decade, we've been doing double XP, and it's been working fine until now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a classic for me.
It's a giga-wide classic sandwich with a standard classic inside of the sandwich, and that'll make sense if you're in the Discord. So anyway, yeah, whatever. You might be getting some more XP right now. I don't know. Whatever.
Maybe not. Nobody knows.
You may or may not be getting more XP than normal. COD updates also tweeted on the 23rd. The Core 45 handgun has been restricted until further notice. Why? But this shit never works, as Tanner said.
You did. So I guess you didn't experience it this week, like those couple days. I wasn't
playing much around Christmas. No.
Okay, so before Christmas, I mean, these were killing in like 300. It was literally, I think, 350 milliseconds or something. So
wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
They were torching people.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Removed them. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. I mean, how many times? If I had to seriously guess, not even messing around, how many issues have they had with this specific gun where they've had to take it out of the game? I mean, take it out of the game. Probably 4 or 5 times now.
More than that if you include the aftermarket part. Remember that?
Yeah. And they don't often just remove a gun. The Core 45 specifically, though, they've removed around 5 times to fix issues with it.
Yeah.
And they just keep adding it back in. They forget about it a few months later because by then another dev studio is working on the game and they don't pay attention to what happened last year because none of them play the game ever. They certainly don't play the game version that a different development studio made. So they don't even know what the Core 45 is. They say, oh, there's a handgun in the game. I guess it's in our game now. Guess what? It's broken as fuck. Yeah.
Classic. Yeah.
So that's, But so that's cool. Removed right now. Just vault the gun forever. I don't ever want to see this gun back again.
It's a pistol. Yeah.
I'm
just get
so
rid of
sick of seeing you guys vault it because you can't fix it.
It bothers me because there are so many bog standard pistols.
I'm already furious.
We don't need another pistol. And if it's going to take you guys inordinate amount of time to try and fix it, when there are 50 plus other bugs that are much more important, then just don't bring it back. It's so simple. God, it's simple. But yeah, they're buns 1 billion at developing video games. Just like Battlestate Games is, by the way. Which is another
I feel bad
developer.
For them, though. Because a lot of people are like mean to them online.
Yeah, you saw what I... Did you watch that? Tarkov TV?
I had... Before... No. But before you had said the thing about his $1,000 shirt... I had seen a tweet like 10 minutes prior about how he was wearing $1,000. I don't even know how to say that brand. Balenciaga. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
I know what that brand is, and I own a bunch of their shirts. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then he's sitting on there crying about how people are mean to them online because they tell them they're not working hard enough. Yeah, you're right. It's no matter who you are, you can live in Soviet Russia and you're just game devs, man. There's something different about them. Different type of person.
They're wrong. I was gonna anyway.
Always feeling bad for themselves about everything.
It's so insane. And they want people to suck them off for doing their job. Like, hey man, if you do a wipe or you do an update and it works as intended, that's what I expect from you because I paid you money for this.
Yeah.
You did your job. I might say thank you as like a polite thing to do. Like if I order a coffee at Starbucks and I get the coffee and it's correct, I'm going to say, hey, thanks. Because I'm a normal person in society. But I'm not going to get on Twitter and at Starbucks and say, oh, Mary Poppins from Grand and Badillo did an awesome job making my pumpkin spice latte. Wow.
Yeah.
It's expected that I order a pumpkin spice latte and I get one. That's the start and finish of it. I'm not going to gargle your cock and balls for doing your job because I've paid you money for a product or service. I expect the product or service. That's it. Your thanks is being paid money. And in the case of a game developer, far too much money. Lots of money. Money. They make so much money. And this guy's sitting there with a Balenciaga shirt on, which is ugly, by the way. 1,060 United States dollars. He lives in Russia also. So that's in Russian money. That's like an $80,000 shirt. Like that guy is giga rich in Russia. In Russia. Yep. And he says, oh, guys, we worked really hard to get this update out. So save your negative comments to start. Like, just give us some positive feedback or something like this, because we worked really hard on this update. Hey, you'll get positive feedback if it fucking works, which it doesn't, because no game devs are good. It's not an Activision problem. It is a video game developer's problem.
It's the industry. None of them are good.
They suck at their jobs a lot, and they get so inside of their feelings. I wonder what it is. I need someone who is a grad student in a psychology or sociology department listening to this. These people are way too smart to be listening to this. To do their doctoral thesis on what types of people, what personality matrix attracts you to developing video games. Because you will have some shocking results. They are all narcissistic sociopaths. They have to be. It's the only explanation. God, they bother me. It bugs me so much. You're doing your job poorly and you want to be thanked for it. It's insane. I gave an analogy in Discord. Imagine you go to a steakhouse and you say, hey, I will have a medium rare ribeye. And then the waiter's like, cool, man. Got it. He comes back later and he gives you a well done filet mignon.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, hey, listen, this is super not what I've paid for and also ordered.
Yeah.
Imagine how insane it would be if the waiter said, oh, well, can you actually save your negative comments? Because the chef worked really hard on that.
Yeah. He's been working hard all day. It's hard cooking steaks. It's a hard job. Yeah.
How insane would that be? Like, this is perfectly analogous, by the way. And how insane would that be? No one ever would expect that response to saying, hey, you didn't give me what I ordered. No one would expect that in the food service industry. But when it comes to the games industry, the game devs expect that. And a sizable chunk of the player base also expects that. So some guy now at a different table is like, yeah, I agree with the waiter. The chef probably worked really hard on that. That's also what's going on here. Because I say, hey, seek Canadian healthcare on Twitter. And then some guy will be like, being a game dev is hard, bro. Don't be so mean to them. They didn't give me what I paid for. It bothers me. And I don't understand it. I don't understand what's going on. Especially the people that are not the game devs that are white knighting for the game devs. They are the most impossible to understand. Their mind is a black box that I will never be able to peer into, or anyone. It's not possible. So anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not tilted at all, by the way. Can you guys tell I played Warzone today?
A little bit, yeah, I can tell.
Can you guys tell I made the grave mistake of queuing for Warzone today?
Don't worry, man, because we have a little excerpt here from Raven, and it seems like they must have made some changes to the game. So let's start reading this. When did they post this? Okay, so this was posted on December 23rd, 10 a.m. It was scheduled the week before, by the way. They weren't in the office.
This is,
let's see what they said.
AI wrote it also.
Let's see what this patch was. As we approach the end of the year, we'd like to share some insight on what we're working on for Warzone. Oh, okay. Cheating remains our top priority, particularly in ranked play environment, and we want to acknowledge the impact it's having on our players. Got it. Yeah, you're pushing me to the edge. I might do it.
I might do it. Yeah.
We are working closely with the Ricochet anti-team.
I want to do it so bad.
To pinpoint the sources of this behavior and take the necessary steps to protect our players. Okay. I hate that sentence.
I'm so mad. I'm genuinely getting upset.
This is a matter that we hold close to our heart as it affects everyone, developers and players alike. Okay, so hire somebody who can do a better job at it. Yeah, they've already made it about themselves. I don't like it.
I can't.
They're going to say we are continuing to prioritize server performance and enhancing game stability across the board. We have prepared key updates to movement for increased fluidity and resolved numerous issues with perks and challenges. Issues with perks and challenges. What challenges issues are they? Like maybe camo tracking or something?
Probably that. Yeah. Which is good, I guess. Yeah.
Players can expect faster mantling speeds. Okay. Rebalance perks. Well, don't say rebalance. Say fix the bugged perks, which is almost all of it.
We've enabled the functionality of some perks. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
Rebalance perks, combat records, and the ability to close doors while running. Which should definitely improve the overall feel of engagements. Don't tell me what it would feel like. Additionally, we are addressing concern.
Never addressing someone wanted to close a door while running. What the fuck are they playing, dude? It bothers me.
No, hold on. I think you're misunderstanding that. Hold on. Additionally, we are addressing concerns with reviving mechanics. Concerns. So they don't know it's a bug. They've just heard some concerns about it. We're gonna finish this out, then we'll go back through it. We're closely examining reported audio inconsistencies, lighting and visibility concerns. Oh, that's good. Okay.
That is good.
Keyboard and mouse functionality, irregular UAV behavior, which is good. Okay. And discrepancies with contracts.
I don't know what this means.
I
don't know what that means.
Many of these improvements will ship shortly after the holidays. In the meantime, we wish you a joyful holiday season. Yeah.
This bothers me so much.
Burn it all down.
I mean... Yeah, so let's take this top to bottom, because as I always say, this is something I say a lot, Activision devs do not play their own game, as illustrated perfectly here. So let's go through this. Cheating remains our top priority. I'm literally not reading any more of this. Not true. It's not their top priority, never has been. Cheating's out of control. Including in Publix, by the way. How many cheaters did we see today, Jake? We saw, I think, 3 or 4 extremely obvious ones.
Oh, no. They're starting to come to Publix, huh?
Yes. And then probably another 3 or 4 that were maybe cheating on top of that. So that's in Publix, by the way. So that means unranked pubs. So for those of you listening. So I'm not reading the cheating thing. They just lie. So that's just lying. Lots of lying. We're continuing to prioritize server performance and enhancing game stability across the board. Cool. This is good, if true. But, I mean, I don't believe that. I don't believe it's possible for them to fix the servers besides getting new ones. I mean, it's that simple, so, okay. We have prepared key updates to movement for increased fluidity. Okay. This is not the problem. The movement actually does feel fine. It feels good. It feels fluid. That is the word I would use to describe it. Could the movement be better? I guess it could, but I would much prefer literally dozens of other things be focused on first. Dozens. Like not being able to res my teammates, like the portable decontamination station. For those of you that didn't know this, by the way, don't make the mistake I did. Here's the mistake I made. Another bug I didn't know existed. I'm playing duo quads with Jake. Jake dies. There's a buy station in the gas. I find a PDS. And how it's worked for years now, and they have not said otherwise, is that if you throw a PDS on a buy station, it will reopen it, and then you can buy your teammate back. So I go through the absolute labor of running, dodging, ducking, dipping, diving, and dodging toward the buy station in the gas, And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to throw this PDS. I'm going to buy my teammate back, buy a gas mask, hopefully get in zone. I throw it down. The buy station does not open. I leave the game. I simply leave the game. And my blood pressure rises. Then the fucking very next game. Okay, maybe it's a one-off bug. Unacceptable, maybe, but fine. Very next game, similar scenario. Now there are 2 teammates I would desperately love to buy back because there's only one other team left in the game versus me, some guy. I throw a PDS on the buy. I have lots of money, by the way. Still doesn't work, and it's a different buy station. So that just doesn't work now. For example, that's really important, actually, especially for ranked play, especially when you didn't say anything about it. Because I would be, and then my blood pressure rose again. How much more would my blood pressure have risen? There wouldn't be a podcast today. I would be hospitalized or dead. That's how much it would have risen. How mad would I have been if I make a gas play that I wouldn't have otherwise made if I knew it wasn't going to work, to go to a buy and throw down a PDS and buy back a teammate? Minus 100 billion SR. I would be blood red mad. But they never said anything about it. But the movement and fluidity needs to be improved. Does anyone think that? Is that anyone's complaint? Who's complaining about the movement being not fluid enough? I literally have not seen anyone complaining about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes to the things like what they mentioned specifically, like the mantle speeds. Things like mantle speeds, like
that's
diving
fair.
Speeds, time to go prone, time to crouch, things like that.
You're right. And those are fair. Okay, you're right. Yeah, because I could use much faster mantle speed, which is what they say, and I could use stance change speed increases. Okay, touche. You're right. Okay, so I'll take the L on that. So let's continue. Players can expect faster mantle speeds. By the way, they said they did increase mantle speeds already. Guess what? Another thing they lied to you about, right? They lied to you. They said, hey, high mantle is now faster. Psych. It's not. It just isn't. It is one of the, again, dozens of things they've said they fixed. They have not, in fact, fixed. I've got it. So they said they're gonna do it again, and I'm gonna disbelieve them again. Because they just lie. All year, they just lie. Shout out to J-Rock, by the way. Ted Timmons is a stand-up guy. Hey, do your job, Ted. Do your job. Lying is not standing up. I hate them. God, they bug me so much, man. Rebalanced perks, as Tanner pointed out, don't say rebalanced when the perks don't fucking work.
Well, this is actually interesting, though, because maybe they're going to change a bunch of perks around, change the way some of them work, change some categories. Like, the word rebalancing to me almost sounds like they're going to make core pretty large changes to the perks. Like, I'm thinking, God, I can't even think. What's the Mountaineer perk in this game? Is it Dexterity? It's Dexterity, right?
Dexterity, yes.
Like, maybe by rebalancing, they mean they're actually going to make that more like Mountaineer now, so people actually run it, and maybe you can fall 40 meters now or something, rather than the 14 you can fall or 16 you can fall right now. So maybe that's what they mean, but it almost kind of sounds like changing perks inside of categories and stuff like that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. That would be great if true, but they fixed one perk this year, Scavenger, the least important one. So if they intend on doing that, that's cool, but can they do it? Will they do it? Even if they say they intend to do it, there are so many hurdles that are just insurmountable for this dev team that I can't get excited about it. That would be cool. You're right. Nerf tracker, change dexterity to be worth running. Those are two quick and easy examples. If I thought about it a little bit longer, I'm sure you could find more. That would be really cool. But, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. So, whatever. Combat records, I don't know what they mean by that. Maybe showing KD again? That would be cool, but, again, a lot of other things need to be fixed.
Well, are we just missing aren't we missing more combat records? I never really look at them, but
is this
weren't they saying
stats?
The other day? I don't know. I have no clue. I don't.
Maybe
ever
it's
look
different.
At any of that.
I think it is
look
different.
At that like
the stats
4 times
work,
a year.
They appear to work anyway.
I thought Jake was saying there are like no stats for ranked play, right? Because we were like, is ranked and like pubs just thrown into one category together, which is insane. Maybe they're gonna split them up too. That needs to be done, of course.
Yeah, I don't know. So whatever. And the ability to close doors while running, I actually don't understand it.
That one's weird to me because you and Jake are both saying this, but I've noticed this since the integration, and a lot of like the Super Sweat nerds have also tweeted about it like really early on, saying like this was like a day 1, 2, and 3 issue where people are like, why can I not shut a door when I'm moving? Like this was before people really realized how bad the game was. This was an early complaint. It's essentially like they say you can't, the ability to close doors while running, but it's almost genuinely like you can't even be moving. You pretty much have to stand still, go up to a door and press a button to open it. So like, let's say you're running, like, aren't you used to running away from somebody plating up, they're shooting at you. And as you slide through a doorway, you turn real quick to the left and close the door behind you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did that all the time.
Yeah.
You can't do that at all. You can't close the door when you're moving like that anymore. And Jake's saying like about pen, it's insane to be closing doors. Okay, but it's something I've been used to doing for 4 years. So you don't break the habit of doing that.
It
just
should
because
work.
now there's pen.
Yeah,
so that's just bugged. So that's bottom line. It's bugged and it hasn't worked that way for 2 years because it's worked correctly for the last 2 or what price since Warzone came out. So they're fixing it. So that is an actual bug that should be fixed because it's never worked that way until now.
I agree.
Like, you just basically can't be moving.
Well, also the thing too, though, is like, if in that scenario you described, they're immediately going to shoot the door open because the door's open when they get shot now anyway. So it's like,
yeah, but also they didn't used to,
matter.
That didn't used to be a thing. So again, people are used to playing the game a certain way.
Right. Yeah.
And you didn't used to be able to shoot doors open.
Right. Yeah, I get that. And I mean, I'll agree with you. Like, yeah, it should work.
I do agree, though. It is weird that this is specifically mentioned. Out of all of the issues with the game, this is a weird one that is specific. Like, they could have put 100 other things on here that I would be like, okay, that makes sense, rather than this one. This needs to be changed, but there was no reason to specifically mention it and act like it's a bigger issue than so many of the other problems with the game. Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at for sure. And it bothers me a lot, yeah. But bugged. Okay, yeah, I'm incredibly bugged. Which should definitely really improve the overall feel of engagement.
I hate that they say that a lot. Yeah, I hate that they say that a lot. Which should definitely improve the overall feel of engagement. Because if they're just talking about the ability to close door while running, don't say that. It's not going to definitely improve the overall feel of engagements. It's just annoying that you have to be standing still to close a door. That's all it is. And then it's like they can't be referring to everything they just mentioned because they also mentioned combat records in there. So none of it makes sense. Yeah. Not even what they write about what they're going to fix in the game makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. They can't do anything correctly, including form a coherent thought. Additionally, we are addressing concerns with reviving mechanics. Okay. You know what? I will take that sentence. I'm glad they said that. The issue is sometimes I fucking can't do it. That's the issue, but that's the issue with the reviving mechanic, by the way. But I'm glad they are finally at least talking about maybe trying to fix it, failing a couple times, and then eventually it's fixed in March or April of next year, 2025. Yeah. Integration happened in October, by the way, or November, early November.
Classic.
Months and months and months and months. Core mechanic reviving, which worked on day one and never didn't work until this year. Cool. And it's taken them this long to even say there's the issue. Yeah, okay. On the investigate, where's the Trello board?
I don't know if they still do that.
I don't know if they pay enough for the immense amount of cloud storage that they would require to post all the bugs on Trello board. Yeah, I don't know if they have that kind of bread. So anyway, on the investigator side, we're closely examining reported audio inconsistencies. I was saying this earlier. One of the few things I am overall pretty pleased with is the audio. The audio's been on Urzikstan. Let me be clear. On Urzikstan, audio's pretty good. I actually hear people almost always when I should. on pretty much every terrain. You hear people on grass, you hear them on dirt, you hear them on concrete, you giga hear them on metal and wood. And the directionality, once you get used to, it's actually pretty good. The audio, I will take. We need to not touch it because I'm very scared they're going to make it worse on accident and fix other things instead. But cool. I'm sure there are some inconsistencies still. And there definitely are inconsistencies on other maps. Like the audio on Area 99 is not good.
Yeah, it is stuff like Rebirth. Rebirth has very weird audio.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, okay. But cool. Lighting and visibility concerns, great, good.
That's the biggest one on this list for me, other than basically saying they're working on bug fixes. That's the biggest one for me.
Yeah, this is a huge problem. In every building on any map, you will not see anyone, and it's bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. K-BAM functionality, I don't know what this means.
I think they're referring to like how some of the controls have been bugged, like weapon swap or whatnot. I don't think they fixed any of that people like Huskers, Metaphor, Pieman have been complaining about. I don't know. I don't use those settings, but that's what I'm assuming. It's just something to do with some of the controls being bugged.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, if you play K-BAM, you're actually a second-class citizen. I'm not joking. Playing Call of Duty. You are a second-class citizen. So keep that in mind. Which is why I switched. Irregular UAV behavior. That's good. There's like a weird bug with it. I don't know how it happens or how to describe it, but whatever. And discrepancies with contracts on the TAC map. I don't know what that is. That's one thing I have not run into ever. I don't know what it means. So many of these improvements will ship shortly after the holidays. In the meantime, we wish you all a joyful holiday season. I wish for you guys to have a terrible holiday season. I hope your Christmas sucked a lot. The head of every dev studio working on Warzone, I hope you guys had a bad Christmas. You, of course, didn't. You had a great one. You're whining and dining, and it bothers me that so anyway, whatever. Next is a tweet from Call of Duty Updates. Do we read this? It's an update from Team Ricochet. I don't know when this was tweeted. Tanner will know. Several additional detections have been deployed over the last week. Over 20,000 accounts have been banned for engaged in boosting and cheating behavior. That's what they wrote. I didn't say it wrong. Targeting ranked play in Warzone and BO6. Okay. Enhanced data center safeguards to ensure a more secure experience for ranked play. Ricochet remains active with teams working throughout the holidays. Looking to 2025, we are prioritizing adding an additional layer of server infrastructure to mitigate stability issues that occur at the server level. This is referring to the fact that cheaters can at will crash a server so they don't lose SR. Or just to grief people. Will they be able to do it? We'll see. I doubt it. Additional upgrades to existing kernel driver and server systems and brand new server-side detection mechanisms. I care about none of this and have nothing to say. They've said a lot about Ricochet and it's never mattered before, and I don't believe it's going to start mattering now.
When I think they tweeted this right before Christmas, whenever they tweeted it, they had said 20,000 accounts have been banned. One of those days when we played, there were 0 cheaters. Actually, it was like 2 days in a row we played where there were 0 cheaters. I think that's why it seems like there was a ban wave right before that, which is why I put this in here. And then also they're
back now, by the way. So
yeah.
There was a full team, level 12 and 18. Bay was like, why are you guys cheating? And the guy says, why not? Shut up, idiot. In lobby chat.
Yeah.
Got it. And
it's genuinely, it's a severe mental illness, man. Like Jakin said he ran into a cheater on Plunder on Christmas Day. Like, just stop for a second. Think about spending time with your family and doing shit on Christmas Day, and then just think about some guy sitting in a room in his house with his wife's parents over and he's cheating and Plunder. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
it's genuine. Insane. It's so weird to me. It's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, another thing on here is the last part here. They did confirm what they had made sound very confusing last time about their kernel level driver. They said additional upgrades to existing kernel driver and server systems. Because remember last time they worded something in some way where it was like, okay, is there a kernel level driver or not? Because remember they said an all new kernel level driver, and everyone was like, huh? But so, I mean, they claimed it was that the whole time, so they're just updating. But
I understand it now.
We have some more interesting stuff about cheating later that we'll get to.
Hello, stupid, dumb idiot. Today, I'm pleased to announce that for the month of December, Patreon memberships are 50% off any tier. Gold for $2.50 for an entire month. Ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and 3 Call of Duty bonus episodes every single month. You can get a higher tier, also 50% off, but Gold's probably the most bang for your buck, or if you're new, it's probably where you'd want to start. But the Q&A episodes for platinum patrons and behind the scenes episodes and Damascus hangouts for Damascus patrons, of course, also go bonkers, and you could get into all of that action for 50% off in the month of December. You can also gift Patreon memberships. Does that stack with the discounts? I have no idea, but if you wanted to gift your terrible teammates a Patreon membership so they can get better, that's a swell idea, and you might be able to do it for 50% off, but you can certainly do it for 50% off for your goddamn self so that you get those bonus eps and you don't have to hear ads like this one ever again. Let's get back to the show. Yeah, so another tweet from COD Updates. As a reminder, spam reporting of any kind does not impact a player's in-game standing. Whether one player reports someone once or 1,000 times, our system only considers the first report and throttles repeated reports. Users that attempt to spam report will have their account actioned on in accordance with the security and enforcement policy. We have recently banned over 8,000 accounts for malicious reporting. So I quote tweeted this, by the way, and my quote tweet said, "This is a lie," by the way. Which it is. They may or may not ban someone for spam reporting. I've never been banned for spam reporting. I stopped doing it because it doesn't matter, but I used to do it a lot. Even after they said it was TOS, which was like during Caldera, a lot. And my friends do it a lot. And none of us ever have had our accounts actioned on for malicious reporting. Let me be clear. I would be furious if I got banned as a legitimate player for spam reporting a spin botter who's level 12. That would make me incensed. But luckily, that's never happened. I don't know or care very much. But this is just a lie. Spam reporting of any kind does not impact a player's in-game standing. Not true. We've seen it a lot. That was the meta in ranked play in last year, I believe. You would, in ranked multiplayer, there were like Twitter clips. People like, oh, spam report this guy. And one guy would just start spam reporting him. And after like 6 reports, the guy would get instantly kicked, banned.
Yeah.
So what happened? What happened there?
Well, and then, yeah,
it's so dumb. It's just a blatant lie. And they got community noted for this, by the way.
So this is what everybody always says, like Ramin is saying right now. Why do they ban for malicious reporting when they have said on record spam reporting does nothing, and after the first report everything else you do gets ignored? That's what they said. Good point. So how do you maliciously report somebody if it ignores everything past the first report?
That's a great question.
How the fuck does that make sense? It doesn't, because they're lying to us with everything they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, so then moving on, getting to the fun stuff now. So I saw this tweet. This is from December 22nd. So FIFA Kill retweeted a clip of Enkyo, I believe. British or European or something. Doesn't matter. He's not American, so he's not good.
He's terrible.
So they were playing ranked play. Comes over a hill, melted. Instantly melted. Started getting shots on a guy, just immediately melted. The guy knew right where he was coming. Obviously cheating. Him and his teammates are stacking, of course, because it's ranked. So they down and kill the cheater, right? Right after they down the cheater, about 3 seconds later, as Enkyo, the guy in the clip, is downed, waiting to be revived by a teammate, he gets kicked out, Shadowbanned. So then what FIFA tweets is the cheaters have a tool where they can send 100 reports with one button press. And he said, I've seen it all. Sorry to everyone who Shadowbanned. The system is so bad. And then some other guy tweeted him. He's like, how are you just going to say this without any sort of proof? And then some other just random Twitter account with no following said, here's the proof right here. And he takes a screenshot of a cheat. I don't know what software this is. There's nothing on it, but
I don't know,
there's a button. He's right clicking on somebody's name and you can report him for cheating, offensive text, voice, text spam, or there's a button that says send all reports 100 times. Got it.
Yep.
So in a lot of these situations, that's probably what's happening. Somebody is doing that, and they're just basically getting shadow banned.
Yes.
And also, because according to some other things,
does work.
Yeah.
That's
and
why
according to what
works.
I saw a couple other times, this has actually been in the game since like Al-Mazrah or something. Like this has been a cheat since back then.
Oh.
Which would maybe make sense as to why so many people get shadow banned, but right now it's especially bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, fun and exciting stuff.
And on the off chance, by the way, that it's true that one guy spam reporting you is no different than him reporting you once, this cheat might report someone 100 times from 100 different accounts. Or it might make the game think that. Yeah. And if that happens, you will definitely get shadow banned. And that would be intentional, which probably you should. I mean, if you get reported by 100 different accounts, yeah, you're probably cheating, obviously. So if that might be what the cheat does, regardless, insane. Yep. Yeah, completely insane. Actually, a clever little cheat, by the way. It bugs me, but it's smart.
It's very clever.
Manipulate their own anti-cheat by cheating.
Just instead of trying to shut down these anti-cheat companies,
poach them.
Start DMing them and be like, hey, we'll pay you millions of dollars to sign a contract to come work on our anti-cheat team for 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, just buy out all these companies.
Guys should be working for the U.S. government, to be honest. Should all be working for NSA.
Well, get them on Activision first, then they can leave,
Yeah.
Get the game fucking
so,
functioning one time.
So this has been kind of the hot topic this week, shadow banning. So Charlie until the next day tweeted, Activision insists that spam reporting a player in COD does not lead to a shadow ban, even though the company still refuses to explain the shadow ban system and its actual purpose. Charlie, so many non-cheaters are consistently put into it.
Charles' intelligence has been extremely based this year, by the way.
He gets this way from time to time, yeah.
Massive Twitter account in the Call of Duty space with a lot of motion, as the kids say, repeatedly shitting on COD, as they deserve to be, for things they deserve to be shit on for. So Charles intelligence, based and true. Yeah. No one knows how this works, the shadow ban system. Exactly.
So yeah, we either have a cheater in chat right now or an Activision dev. He said this sheet was patched and doesn't work anymore, but team reporting works every time. All it takes is a team of 4 to send reports at the same time against a player with a lower trust score. It doesn't seem like it's worked that way. I agree that did used to work that way. Because in MW 2 and last year, or Warzone 2 and Warzone 3, that would happen. We'd die to an obvious cheater and we'd be like, all right, everyone report the guy. We would all do it. Instantly, we'd watch the guy get kicked. In the bottom left, you would see Ricochet. I'm dead serious. I haven't seen that Ricochet icon at all this year. You've played a lot more than me. Have you ever have you seen somebody kicked or with the Ricochet icon down in the chat box at all this year?
No, of course not.
Or in the kill feed? Yeah.
Of course
So
not.
Either they took that feature out or it's just really not working at all.
No, I know it's not working because
I don't have a single report. I don't have a single successful cheat report since this game came out. I don't think. Maybe one or something in Warzone.
I have exactly
and we run
one.
into obvious ones.
Yeah, blatant.
Multiple times a day. And we're not getting reports.
Yeah, I mean, we regularly will all die to one cheater and we will all report him a lot. And the guy, and then we'll continue spectating him. It absolutely doesn't work right now at all. So, like, I know that. From like this week. So
yeah,
the game sucks.
Yeah,
in case you're wondering.
So Charlie Until tweeted that, and then we have some tweets from GamerDoc, who this guy is the one who, it was last week or the week before, we talked about some anti-cheat guy for Valorant that was like, if I were on the COD anti-cheat team, this is what I would do. Remember? And we went over that, and he explained what he would do with their anti-cheat. So this guy responded to Charlie Intel, and he says, well, I hate how they operate. No anti-cheat can fully explain its methods like Shadowbans, because once the public knows, they'll try to avoid it. Not saying their Shadowbans are good, just that it's a logical approach and not something you can demand to be explained.
I want to give GamerDoc a swirly.
No, I think that makes sense. You can't make this stuff public. I mean, he even does start out with, well, I hate how they operate. He hates Activision. He constantly trashes their anti-cheat and how everything works. Believe me, he fucking hates them.
Okay.
So then Charlie Intel says, fair point. I think the problem currently exists that there are no logical understanding of how a player gets in it. There have been players who have no cheats or any altering game state at all, and suddenly they end up in it for weeks. So he says, their Shadowban model isn't based on ground truth data. They assume someone is cheating and impose a cooldown, harming more legitimate players than cheaters. By ground truth data, I mean hard-coded detections for major cheat vendors. I don't exactly know what that last sentence means.
He's saying you get Shadowban when they don't detect like engine owning running in the background, which is a red herring because that's not how Ricochet works. They described that. So
a better approach is to detect cheats directly and use that data to build behavioral flags instead of relying on Shadowbans. I'd scrap Shadowbans entirely and implement restrictions. Flagged players could be required to enable Windows security features, breaking about 80% of cheats and enforcing unspoofable hardware IDs. While TPM can be replaced on some boards, many don't support it, especially laptops, making spoofing costly and impractical. That's the thing where when you get hardware ID banned, engine owning sells a spoofer for $1 and it changes your like MAC address ID, or how does that work? Your hardware ID?
I think it is your MAC address. Yeah.
I think it is your MAC, isn't it? And then like it's basically a number you can't change other than if you buy a new motherboard. But Smile, some cheat developer figured out how to do it, and it cost like 99 cents.
Yeah.
So that's how they can keep making accounts, because they are technically hardware ID banned. Once Ricochet bans them, probably that's the way they say it works. But then they just get this and they can cheat again on the same computer.
Right.
The goal is to make cheating expensive and inaccessible while eliminating one-click spoofers. Cheating will always exist, but with the right measures, the cheat rate could drop significantly. Seeing one cheater every 50 games would be a major success.
Based.
Yeah.
Based.
Make it very expensive. Yeah. Just have it brick their PC. So it sounds like what he's basically saying is implement a Valorant style anti-cheat where there's, because enabling Windows security features, that's got to be something like Valorant does, where there's some sort of program always running on your computer, whether or not you have Valorant running or not. If you have Valorant installed, that program's, their anti-cheat software is running on your PC at all times.
After you've launched it. Yeah. The game.
No, that's why theirs is better. It runs at all times. That's why CODS doesn't work. That's why CODS doesn't work, because their kernel level driver, it doesn't start working until you launch the game.
Oh, I understand.
So that's supposedly why it's so easy to cheat in it, is you basically just have to, it's probably more complicated than this, but essentially you just have to run the cheats before the cheat software starts looking for it, and it doesn't start looking for it until you launch the game.
I understand it now. Yeah. Okay. Then yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't understand everything he said. I don't know what TPM means, or a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I mean, basically, like Tanner said, yeah, just have something always running that is like Valorant. That's simple. And if there were,
it's nice to see him say, get rid of the Shadowban system too.
And that, yeah, exactly. Cheating will always exist, but with the right measures, the cheat rate could drop to seeing one every 50 games. Yeah.
I would absolutely love that. I would go for 1 in 20.
Inside of my pants if I saw only one cheater in every 50 games. I'd be happy to see a cheater once every 50 games.
I would smile.
Yeah, good job, man.
Like, there it is, yeah.
Yeah. So, but, I mean, we're not even close to that, yeah.
We're 20 every one
I'm
game.
seeing one every one game, yeah. One minimum every one game, yeah. So.
Yeah. So again, this is he is an anti-cheat analyst at Riot Vanguard who makes Valorant.
Correct. The anti-cheat we always refer to as the gold standard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he would know what he's talking about.
Anti-cheat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a few more interesting tweets here. I'm trying to think how I found this one. I think Charlie Intel retweeted it, and that's how I saw it. So they retweeted some guy. His name is Justin Taylor. This guy was a former Activision employee. His Twitter profile says something like he was a consultant for Activision. He lists like 3 other companies he used to work for. Some sort of like analyst, consultant, he said. So
consulting's a fake job, by the way.
Consulting is what people who are really good at their job do, and then they essentially retire, and then they just start consulting, and they do virtually nothing and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for doing absolutely nothing. Just say, hey, this is what worked for me. Try this.
Yeah.
Here, sign this check for $100,000 for me telling you that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's a very fake job. It's a fake job that makes you rich.
Mm-hmm.
So he says an obvious statement here, but some things after are kind of interesting. If you want to know why Call of Duty has so many more hacking issues than any other game, I'll tell you. I worked at Activision for 4 years. It's super simple. You have 3 studios, he says Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, who don't want to work together, who basically start from scratch on the game each year. They haven't been building and making one product like Apex, Fortnite, Valorant, etc., and improving on the product over time. So every year you're buying a new product, and by the time they figure it out, a new studio with a new Call of Duty launches. Pretty obvious, right? That's what we've been
this
saying.
is what many people, including us, have been saying for years is exactly this. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's cool. It is interesting that a former Activision employee is saying this.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting, but like you said, doesn't take a former Activision employee to see that this is exactly what is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so why, it's like, why are we still operating this way? Yeah. How have they not just changed their entire structure by this point? You've got to think that's on their mind, right? That this needs to stop. Because this is actually harming them at this point. This is definitely harming them.
Now it is. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it's harmed them enough in the past. Yeah. They were still making so much goddamn money. But now the player count is so bad. From what I'm seeing on Twitter, I haven't looked into it myself, but I'm sure it's true. That now their bottom line is becoming affected. So now they're going to probably start thinking about it. Especially since Microsoft is at the helm now. They might be thinking like, yeah, this is really dumb to be doing it this way. We're going to change it up.
Yep.
We'll see. And we wouldn't see the fruits of that decision for at least like 2 years, even if they make that decision now. But, I mean, it would be good if they made it now, because many of us will, unfortunately, still be playing in 2 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So another guy responded to this former Activision employee, and said, I really think they need to just make a new COD every 3 years so they can have that time to polish the game. And he says they need to just make Call of Duty as one platform, then just make content updates, which is what a lot of people, including us, have been starting to say now. This whole process needs to end. It needs to end now. They need to stop doing this. This game, this version of Warzone we're playing right now will not be in a polished state as much as it was last year until probably like genuinely April or May of this year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy that we just waste 7 months,
Yeah, every single year. Mm-hmm.
And somebody also commented they should have done that with Warzone 1 before Caldera, as in just make it one game, essentially, make Warzone one standalone title. And he said something kind of interesting, also fairly obvious, but I guess I never really thought about it. He said Infinity Ward created Warzone. They weren't about to pass over ownership to Treyarch. So yeah, that's probably why there's just all these internal issues, is because like, it makes sense. Infinity Ward created Warzone all on their own. So it's like, you can't exactly just hand that over to some other studio, right? Who did nothing and then just let them do whatever they want with your game that you designed.
They're not going to want to, but that's why there needs to be an adult in the room, which should be, in this case, Activision, the publishing company, who is their boss. They've contracted these people. Activision owns Warzone, not Infinity Ward or Treyarch or Sledgehammer. And Activision can say, hey, Vundy or Joe Apricot, I don't care that you don't want to hand it over. You're going to now. It's my product, not yours. Deal with it. But yeah, this is obviously, we've been saying this. I don't know exactly how it would look, but it would take me all of probably 10 minutes to think of a pretty good idea. But basically what you do is you put, you fire Infinity Ward, obviously. You put Sledgehammer Raven in charge of Warzone. You put Treyarch in charge of zombies. And then every year you can still do a campaign / multiplayer game that's developed by each individual dev studio, like they're doing now. But then also have a separate thing called Warzone and another separate thing called Zombies. And those just get lots of updates every year. Maybe you integrate some of the lore or some of the guns into Warzone and Zombies every year, not just once a year, like do seasons like you do now. But don't like change the engine every year like they've been doing. Keep Warzone its own engine. And then when Black Ops 7 launches, oh, cool, there's a gun called the XM8. Okay, we're going to design from the ground up a gun that looks and feels a lot like the XM8 in the Black Ops 7 multiplayer game, but it's going to be designed from the ground up for Warzone within Warzone. And then, oh, we'll do like content updates all the time where we add perks, we change perks, we add maps, but you can do it all within that application and then just use like each multiplayer year release and campaign as, I don't know, inspiration or something to draw from, but you don't have to literally integrate it and break everything every year and then take months and months and months and months to fix it. Yeah, it would just be so much better. They would make more money this way, by the way, because the game would actually be fun year round and work rather than be fun 4 months a year. Kind of. Like it works, but it's not really fun anymore because I'm like over it. I'm over Urzikstan. I'm over these guns. Like, cool, you finally got it working, but the novelty is fucking gone, and I'm already jerking off to leaked Twitter clips of the next game by now. So, like, is it ever fun, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
It just, it's so obvious that I don't know. Either we're missing something, or Activision is such a massive company that they just are unable to pivot. There are too many moving parts, and they can't steer the ship in time. That is also like a thing. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but
yeah. One thing I've heard too is people will say things like, you know, if Warzone is standalone and then there's only a new multiplayer game, then multiplayer will feel a lot different than Warzone. Me personally, doesn't bother me at all. I would argue at this point, the majority of people playing Call of Duty, they're just playing one of them primarily. For the majority of the time they launch the game, they're just playing one of those. To me, that means fucking nothing. Like when I launch Call of Duty, I'm playing Warzone 90% of the time. Right now, probably like 80% of the time because I'm still doing multiplayer for dailies and stuff. But, you know, like even last year, you know, if you were to ask me like 6 months ago, it was 99.9%, 100% Warzone. I don't give a shit at that point about multiplayer.
Yeah.
So most people just don't play both of them.
I agree.
And for the people that do, I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal personally.
And it also like
doesn't matter if they feel that different.
They already feel pretty different. They're always going to, unless you make the time to kill the same in both. So that's another thing. It's like, yeah, they're going to feel more dissimilar, but they already do feel fairly dissimilar. Like, because of the time to kill and not having plates and the perks being different and the game mode being different, it's not a BR in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like it already feels quite different. So if it felt even more different, but it was also functioning and not buggy and we didn't have to overhaul it and break it every year, that's an easy trade-off to make. Super easy to trade off to make.
I mean, just the map size alone makes them feel so different, even with Omni movement and all that.
Right.
That alone, massive difference. But
yeah, exactly.
So to me personally, I don't care about that. Maybe the casual player who doesn't play much and they kind of do go between both modes, maybe they would care a lot. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just saying I personally don't give a shit about this at all. They can feel entirely different. It wouldn't bug me. If Warzone got to a point where it felt really good and never changed, how would you complain about that?
Yeah,
how would you complain about the movement that's perfect just because a new multiplayer game came out and that new multiplayer game feels like a little bit slower? I don't know. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, because then what you would do, of course, is say, hey, let's make the multiplayer movement faster because it feels really good in Warzone. And then they probably
would adjust, yeah.
And it would be easy to do because that studio is only working on multiplayer. They're not trying to do multiplayer and DMZ and zombies and Warzone and the campaign and firefight missions. Yeah. Like they're not just massively overworked. Almost said overworked. They don't work at all, but over whatever queued, I guess. Yeah, that would be infinitely better.
Yep.
But yeah, but why aren't they doing that? I don't know. There was that leaked article we had talked about, that article about leaked internal whatever discussion at Microsoft, where they said something to the effect of, I don't remember exactly, that Microsoft is trying to do this, like have a more unified thing or whatever. Yeah. I don't remember the details of the article, and we also obviously don't know if that article is true or not, but I could believe it. There could be a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow, but it wouldn't be for like 2 years probably, which it would be good. I will be playing in 2 years. Like I would like that a lot, but if it's happening, I mean, that's not going to make this game any better anytime soon. It's just not. So I don't know, but that would be the play. Just have like different studios doing different things. It's really not that complicated. All of this is just, they made Warzone. They expected it to do about as well as Blackout had done. They were wrong. It way outperformed that, obviously. And then they just panicked and were just off to the races. And they were only thinking about the next launch rather than taking a long view on like, okay, how do we keep this really good and sustainable? They didn't think about that. Their immediate concern was, how do we get the most money this year for our shareholder meeting? Let's do that. Actually. Yeah. And that came at the expense of today. That's why we're here now, is because they didn't think like, all right, hold on, we got to be smart about this. Maybe don't release it right away. Maybe don't integrate it, blah, blah, blah. And now we're just chicken gibbled because they kept trying to integrate every year because they just wanted that cash. And they would have made more cash in the long run, but that's how companies work, that it's really important each year that you make lots of money. So it's hard as a CEO, even if you know that is the right play, to be like, listen, shareholders, we're going to make whatever, $10 million less dollars now. So it's only going to be 1.98 trillion rather than 1.99. But I promise we're going to have 2.5 trillion next year instead of 2.3 if we do it this way. But like, you can't do that as a company, which I kind of understand. I mean, I don't. I'm not a fucking C-suite executive, but that's, we're all chicken gibbled right now, and it bothers me. So yeah, that's kind of it. Pretty interesting stuff. I have been playing, so Tanner's been out of state, but I've been playing lots of Warzone past couple days, and as you maybe have been able to tell, it's really fun and really frustrating. And the frustration is in proportion to the amount of fun I'm having, because I'll be having a lot of fun and then it'll all get just taken away from me because the game doesn't function. Nothing functions. Nothing functions. And it really bugs me.
Massively functioning game, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Again, a lot of stuff they said they're going to do sounds great. Like, you know, increase mantle speed, perk rebalancing, fixing revive mechanics, fixing lighting and visibility, doing more Ricochet stuff, that all sounds awesome, but I have a bridge to sell you if you believe that they're going to do everything they said they're going to do. You are, and let me be abundantly clear, and if you're listening, I need you to listen carefully when I say this, okay? If you believe everything they said that they were going to do, they are actually going to do at the time they said they're going to do it, you are fucking retarded. You're a stupid person. You're a dumb person, and you need to get your brain checked now. I mean, now. Or you just haven't been paying attention at all. Like, this is the first episode of ours you've ever listened to. If that's true, fine. Maybe you don't read these people's tweets and lies, but they've been doing it. Every single tweet and update there have been a lie in all of them, without exception, since this game launched. So yeah, this all sounds good. If they got 60% of it, I would be happy, honestly. But they're trying to tell us they're going to do all of it shortly after Christmas break. For sure not true. They will soon, so again, clip me now, link me later. They will soon make a tweet or blog post or patch note saying, we have in fact rebalanced perks. Here's what we've done. There will be a list of perk changes. I promise and guarantee you, one or more of the changes or rebalances to perks they said they've done, they will not have done actually. They will lie about it again. I promise. I will take bets for United States dollars on anyone who wants to, by the way. Tell me in Discord if you want to take a bet. If I know who you are and I believe you'll pay me, I will bet you a lot of money, almost any amount of, I'll bet you a good amount of money that they won't, that they will lie about something. They'll lie about something they said they're going to do. They haven't not done it yet. They have not yet done a patch that was truthful. Not once. I'm not joking. Find me one. Find me one. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so next week we will have a normal schedule. We're back on the horse, as they say. Back in the saddle again.
There won't be anything to talk about, though. If there wasn't this week, they won't be back in the office till the following week. So.
That's correct. They won't be, but we will be.
At all what we're going to do, yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, though. We might do a little Twitter roundup for Thursday. That could be fun, because I'm sure more and more bugs will be discovered and talked about. See, and here's another thing. Activision might not work ever, but the cheaters do all the time. So there will be new fun and exciting cheats for us probably to give you guys the details on Thursday. But yeah, we will have a normal schedule next week. In the meantime, we do have some announcements. Lucas R, our newest gold patron. Welcome, big dog. And also Gadget was gifted a Damascus patronage. Welcome, big dog. And thanks to whoever did that gift. We got some people in the Cord who created Patreon gift links and just posted them and said first come, first serve. Extremely based. I think Chris did that. I think Surgery Boy also did that, aka Doc Lopper, aka Doc Pumpkin out the back. Thank you to both of you. If someone else did and I missed it, oops. Pat might have also.
I think Chris did. I think Pat did. Yeah, so that's the thing. Do we still have just some free memberships
We might have
around?
some unclaimed Patreon memberships. You guys should join the Discord and look if you want. It's a free Discord
It looks
membership.
like it's in just general chat. I don't know if it's been. Okay, so that one's been expired. Actually, I'm not a patron of ours, so I can actually click on these and look.
You can.
Let's take a peek, see if that one's claimed. Yeah, there's still one in there.
Okay.
There's one from Pat. It's a gold tier membership for 1 month in our general chat.
Wow, for free.
Yeah.
So anyway, Lucas, thank you. Gadget, thank you. Pat and Chris, and I think Doc as well. Thank you, boys. Much appreciated. And welcome to the Patreon if you're new. As a reminder, by the way, Still half off Patreon memberships for the month of December. So if you want to get in on that, you could. But that sale will be done after December. But you can always gift memberships if you want to do a little late Christmas gift. We also got some other Christmas gifts. First one is from Daniel M, who said, "Spend this irresponsibly," based, and donated $20 for Christmas. Merry Christmas, Daniel M. I definitely know who you are. I don't. By the way, guys, if your PayPal name is your government name and you want us to know who you are, you should mention that somewhere. Because I don't know, especially if your name is the most bog standard name there's ever been, Daniel M. So you know who you are, Daniel M. I don't know who you are. If you're fine with that, I'm fine with that. But if you want us to know who you are, mention it. Let us know. So I'm whatever, Dr. Suck and Fuck in the Discord or whatever. We will be spending that irresponsibly, though. And thank you very much, Daniel, with $20. Merry Christmas, buddy, and thank you. We got another one from Tim G, and there are 2 letters that are not in the English alphabet here.
There's something, yeah.
So I don't know what's going on. I don't know where you're from. And I don't know who you are also, the sequel. But you said, after this update, I feel sorry for buying the Black Cell in Season 1 based. So there you go. Gave us our Black Cell tax of 30 United States dollars. Extremely based, Timothy. Thank you very much, Big Giant Dog. Very kind of you, sir. Merry Christmas. And cheers. And you should feel bad about it.
That's a cheers,
you owe
brother.
us a lot of interest on that, by the way. So just hit that dono link one more time. But thank you very much. And this last one is from Lars. I believe this is LAX, the Swiss German friend of the pod, who said, oh, his message was friend of the pod. This guy's really good at the game, by the way, LAX. His Twitch is linked to his Discord account. You guys should go watch him. He speaks German. He also speaks English, but his teammates speak German. So a lot of German yapping, but you can talk to him. He'll reply in English. Anyway, by the way, they use a lot of English words too. I was watching his stream a couple days ago, and they're just talking in German, Swiss German, ostensibly. And they'll be like, cluster strike. I'm like,
dude, it's always funny when you hear that.
It's very weird. I'm like, is there not a word for cluster strike in German? And he's like, oh, I don't know, bro. There is, I guess. It would be Schockenstugen. But we just say cluster strike. Like a lot.
That's funny.
It's very funny. But anyway, with the 100 United States dollars, not Deutschmarks, extremely based. LAX, I think that is you, and thank you very much. If so, if it's not you and you are the real person, then tell us, but I'm pretty sure it's LAX. And thank you very much, King Demon. Follow him on Twitch. Just search LAX, you probably find it. But thank you very much. Very kind of you. $100 is extremely generous. Buddy. Yeah, appreciate for that. Real. Merry Christmas, dude.
And Tim and Dan.
Tim and Dan, yes, in lesser degrees, to lesser extents. We thank you less. And then LAX, I thank you less than this last person, who shall not be named. I don't think we'll say the amount either. But I'll just say
we're not going to
this.
say anything. It was a person.
Some guy or girl donated us some amount of money. It was a fucking boatload, by the way. It was a fucking lot, by the way. And he or she wrote a very kind message and said, I want to be anonymous. But this is the best thing that's ever happened to me, so I figured I'd give you a lot of money. And I'm only slightly paraphrasing.
That's what that person said. Yeah.
So to some guy or girl, you know who you are, who insisted on not being mentioned, by the way. Oh, don't thank me on the podcast. Hey, go fuck yourself. I won't mention who you are, but I will thank you. Very generous, very kind. I I did reach out to you privately, but
you already did? Okay,
as well. Cool. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I said Tanner doesn't really care, but I thank you. Perfect. That's what I said in it. Yeah. So thank you very much, brother or sister. You know who you are. It's not obvious.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. That was delightful.
That was
a Merry Christmas for sure.
My blood pressure will now fall a little bit because I remembered this happened to me. Yeah.
Is it 2020 again? Jesus, man.
Yeah, I know.
2020 dono right
That's
there.
a 2020 type beat. Yeah.
Type John, yeah.
Type joint. I say that a lot. Type shit. Anyway, we'll be back.
I might be able to buy eggs this week. You seen the price of eggs lately, man? Like doubled or tripled in price.
Have they really?
Yeah.
Why?
Crazy expensive.
Were the chickens boycotting?
I think there was some
scab
E. coli
chickens?
Outbreak or something, maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
Some fake outbreak. Some fake government outbreak, probably. E. coli's not real.
PSYOP, yeah. I had COVID. Anyway, we will see you guys next week. Yeah, like Tanner said, I mean, we're going to do 2 episodes next week. I don't know what we're going to talk about. But there will be something. We'll figure it out. And again, I've been playing a lot. I am still having fun despite... I get mad at myself for playing, but I still play it, so it's obviously somewhat fun. So I'll have more just to talk about, if nothing else, my own kind of experience, maybe some new tips and tricks, new bugs to give you the download on. So yeah, if there's one pro tip you can take away from this episode, don't go into the gas to PDS a buy. It will not open, at least in Publix on Urzikstan. Activision devs do not play their own game.
Yeah, thank you.